What's up, everybody? It's your favorite, I'm your captain now, favorite nerd, and today we are looking at the Marvel Legends Abomination set, part 2, featuring Red Skull, Captain America, and Scarlet Witch. And we'll see how this plays out. We'll get to the accessories at the end. The paint here, once again, is really, really well done. I must commend them for that. Now let's talk about the figure. So ball hinge head, as we would come to expect, up to there. All the paint on the head looks good. The silver wings, the red stripes, the gray stripes, down to there. Swivels intact. Ears are painted well. Eyes are painted well. Pretty good. Pretty good. Disc hinge shoulders, as we've come to expect as well. Get you up to there. It's a really tight joint and around. Also, look at that Star Spangled Banner right there. It's really sharp paint. You know, tampered, but really well done. At least it seems as such. Ab crunch, which is a weird... It's like too tight. Sculpt continues up and paint continues up, so that's good. Star looks good. Gray paint looks good. Blue, red, all that stuff looks good. Even a little star on the back for no good reason, so that's nice. On the arms, bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, wrist swivel, and hinge in and out. 2 holding hands, 1 holding weapon, so that's ridiculous. And waist swivel, floating belt, which is washed. It's a silver belt and it's washed black. Nice little touch. Looks good. T-jointed ball joints for hips, relatively limited, but get you out to there. Forward and back to there. Thigh swivel. Double jointed knee, shin swivel, red paint looks really sharp along there, really well done. A little disconnected there, but overall really well done. And that's independent results will vary. The feet, the ankle articulation, you get an ankle tilt up and down, and the rocker's built in. Now let's talk about the accessories. So, of course, he comes with his signature shield. Why was it so difficult for me? As we've seen 1,000 times, right? And it can plug into his back, and it can plug into his hand, and it can clip onto his wrist. But wait, there's more. Sharp paint, though. He comes with this hand and this translucent piece of plastic, and this plugs in, and it's supposed to be like a whoosh kind of throwing the shield bit of business. The problem is that there's no way to make this look cool in a way that, like, unless he came with a base that could hold him. You know, like, if you could have a base that could hold him, and let's see if you were to, let's just try it. You know, and then you had him like running like that might work, you know, but like as it is, like there's no way he'll be able to balance that weight. And you know, I've been saying for years that Marvel Legends should come with little bases. It wouldn't be that expensive just to have something to plug their feet into. So it's kind of a stupid accessory. It's a nice thought. It just doesn't really work ultimately. But, you know, I think I'm going to give this to my daughter. She's a big Captain America fan. I'm going to give this to my daughter. She loves Captain America. She didn't want it. Alright, and then Iron Skull. And this is a bit of a mixed bag as well. It's just a repainted Iron Man, is what it is. Accessory-wise, he comes with the helmet that is painted really well. Eyes, the skull design, all that stuff. It's like the Hydra tentacles and all that. Like, it's painted really, really well. So it kind of looks like how he looked in the cartoon, but I'm familiar with other images of him where it doesn't look like this as much. The head has a wash on it, which looks cool, and it really brings out the sculpt. A couple places it was overdone, or it was sat in a funky place where like the wash settled in these weird places. But for the most part, it's done pretty well. Eyes are painted well, and it's a very cool sculpt. Ball hinge. Head, get you up to there, down to there, and the swivel's intact. We got these flaps that just sort of sit on there, and the shoulder can move past them with no problem on a ball hinge and all the way around, but you got to bend it down a little bit. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, wrist swivel and hinge, good in. You don't really get anything out. This piece kind of blocks it, and the red line work throughout is done really well. It's not perfect, but it's, oh, actually that right there got a real touch and go. But for the most part, it's done really well. And individual results will obviously vary. Same for the other side. Hands, you got a fist and this, and since he doesn't hold a weapon, that's perfect. We got a ball joint that's too tight for a diaphragm joint, and then we have T-jointed ball joints for hips, getting you the full range, and front and back fairly well. Thigh swivel at the bottom of it, double jointed knee, that works well. And then ankle tilt up, not really anything, down, full range, and then rocker, slightly up, not really though. And then this little skull bit on there is painted well. So if you like this kind of representation of the character, which does to me feel more like the cartoon, I'd say that it's done fairly well. And lastly is the Scarlet Witch, which comes with these two accessories, which are cool ideas, but there's just no way to make them look cool on her hand. It just looks like she's wearing like a sock puppet or something. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. She comes with two of them. They do fit on her hands just fine, though. But let's talk about that face. Now, it doesn't quite look, I guess from some angles it does, but it doesn't really look like the character, like the actress. But it is a nice face sculpt nonetheless, and it is painted really well, and she even has blush on her cheeks. Lipstick, eyeliner, eyes, eyebrows, all that's painted, and the hair is washed. Good night. Bring the whole house down. Articulation is limited due to the hair. You can move it out of the way, but it's still the ball hinge is limited. She wears this coat, which is a floating piece of plastic. This could have used some washes on it and stuff too. That would have made it look really cool. But as it is, it's not bad. You can see it's fine, right? And then the shoulders, it's a good seam. Like it looks fluent enough. Disc hinge shoulders, they move around, no bicep swivel, but you get it at the elbow at 90 degrees, just about, a little shy. Wrist swivel and hinge, and then the gloves are all sculpted, as are the rings on her fingers, which is nice and not necessarily expected. Same for the other side. Ball joint at the diaphragm, which is still a little limited, but not really. You just got to get the trench coat out of the way. The black outside the lines there, front and center. So that's unfortunate, but hey, what are you going to do? And then we get down to the hips, which are T-jointed ball joints. They get you out to there. This is a new sculpt as far as I can tell. Forward and back to there. Mine is intensely bow-legged. I don't know how well you can tell that, but that leg definitely is bow-legged. This one's straight as an arrow. So that's unfortunate, and if you have the knees straight, it's even worse. Anyway, thigh swivel, that works fine. Double jointed knee, that works fine. No calf swivel, ankle tilt up and down, and the rocker is intact. Actually, the rockers are slightly limited, but it's okay. It's fine. And then all the boot is sculpted, the wrinkles in the pants, all that stuff is sculpted. Wrinkles in the boots, the boot buckles, all this stuff is sculpted. The little lines, like the vertical lines that go in her corset, that's all sculpted, so that looks good. There's a lot of love that went into this. Whoever did this, it bleeds through. It's good. And the wrist, we got one wrist going back and forth and one going in and out, so that's nice. Always nice to get a little something different. And she's making like cool posing hands. She doesn't have like holding hands to hold a weapon that she wouldn't be holding. So all that stuff, that's good. That's smart decisions. Final thoughts wise, now having seen the whole wave, I think it really, none of them are terrible, okay? So that's a nice thing. We don't have any like just complete duds, but none of them are really going to leave you awestruck either. You know, they're just kind of okay. It's a whole lot of meh, and so it comes down to your attachment to the character and the representation of that character. And if you like that, you'll be satisfied. But they all have issues. The issues here, Cap is fine. It's just the accessory is ridiculous. But other than that, it's a fine toy. Scarlet Witch can't stand for anything. And it doesn't really look like the movie, but, you know, it's Hasbro. You know, you kind of just got to get close enough. And I think it is close enough. I think Scarlet Witch is fine. It's just you can't stand. And that's an issue. I hope that my bow-leggedness is just specific to me and not a problem that everyone is having, but it's definitely a problem I'm having. Red Skull is just kind of present. You know what I mean? You're just, like, accounted for. Like, there's nothing really wrong there, but there's nothing really great either. And that's the problem with this whole wave. The characters that I was most excited about getting were Wonder Man and Captain Britain. And they're built the way the rest of these character choices resonate, where it's like, oh, okay, this will do, I suppose. But nothing leaves you, like, floored. You know, like, the last couple waves have left me floored. The Spider-Man wave left me floored, the X-Men, and the Captain America wave before this one. But this one kind of seems like a stepping stone to those two. It seems like it should have came out before those two. It would have been a more gradual transition. Whereas now it kind of seems like a slight step back. Oh, don't spend scalper fees for Scarlet Witch. She's not worth it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.